All right, still early enough to say good morning. It is about 10:41 Eastern time, and just going to do a mid-morning update. I'm trying to get away from the markets for a while to do some things, but it's what I love to do, and I'm going to continue to do my pre-markets and post-markets and all that kind of stuff, and I want to talk about what happened this morning so far. So we opened in range and value, but we did have quite a shift from when I first made the video about 8:40. We did have quite a shift. Let me show you what I mean here. This is the profile chart. Okay, so we were trading below the VPOC somewhere in here, but it started to sell off. And you can see that we really had to move down, and then again in another continued move down after 9 o'clock, and we opened way down here. Whoops! Always always hit the flatten button. Oh man! So at any rate, so you've got your open right here, okay, and we opened. You can see by the pink bar, okay, we opened here. And traded down. This is the opening range. Okay, it was an open drive down. One of the stories was, now we were in range and value, but it would have been more of a I kind of liked it being open in range and value in the overnight value as well, for some of the feeling of like, okay, I'm not sure I'm going to be clear on what I'm trying to say here, but we opened down here already on a thrust downward. Jerome Powell, the Fed chair, spoke at 10 after 9, and no doubt either that was positioning before it or reaction to it, or who knows. So here's the overnight low at the time. When we opened, here's the overnight low. The first plan was open in range in value and exploit lack of continuation and look for profit taking, find a way to get short to the overnight low. Well, I don't know how much time you had. I didn't short it into the overnight low, okay? It was too close to it. And I didn't know what was going to happen. It was also right on the edge of a volume node. We had this attenuation and this big volume build up right here. Could have just been a tick down and build around in here, but I'm not going to like hit market to go short or something right here into it. That doesn't make any sense. It would have worked, but it didn't make any sense. The idea was to get short somewhere up in here, if we were still trading up in here on a move to the or wherever, a few points or something. Anyhow, let's talk about what happened, because this is kind of exciting. So it came down, and the strategy was to exploit a lack of continuation. I talked about why there might not be. We didn't have any in the overnight, really. And look for profit taking. And I also talked about, I don't have that, well, no, I do. I guess I did move it over here. I have a weekly chart here. I talked about the fact, now we're above it now. This is right now. But we were right on this last week's, the whole week, the volume point of control. And so there was a potential for there to be rejection above the highs, that we don't get a lot of continuation. There's also, based on conditions, we could see a move in here and a back and fill and up in here. But the thought was that we might not get up there and move back down. Anyway, okay, I want to make this real short because we're only mid-morning, and just talk about what happened. Not every story has had a chance to unfold, but if you have... So the ways to get short, you had the opening range idea, or floor trader, meaning you could get short against the overnight low. Due to some other things going on, I wasn't feeling the short side. It was real early. It's an idea, but it's not necessarily what I want to do. But what we have, another idea, this leads right into it. It's 2 to 3. And again, these are not in any particular order, but sometimes they fall that way. Continuation of yesterday's move up, which is underway right now. You can see by the daily bar chart right here. The idea is to get long above the prior high day, or in anticipation of continuation on a back in after taking out the overnight low and failing to move lower. So here's the conditions. Either a high confidence breakout of the previous high day. Now we were nowhere near that at the time, okay? Market internals and tempo did not support continuation of the downside. We'll say the tempo was a bit frenetic. We're in range, it's choppy, had all the chairs speaking today. Yeah, I don't know. The tempo wasn't the greatest gauge of whether or not it's going to continue or not. Value building mainly higher, swift rejection of lower prices. I would say they pressed and were getting pushed. We had attenuation down here. We had one of the volume volume areas on the way up was right over here. It never got to the bottom of this. And, you know, once the volume was building in this already a prior high volume area, you know, I'm not saying to get long here, you know, it's moving around real fast. It's coming and then it pressed down and, you know, what do you do? But when it starts to popping up here and we're leaving this volume down here, let me split this off. Let's see where the VPOC was at the time. I don't remember. It may have been right here at some point, one of the longer bars. Yeah, I'm sure it was. Well, at first it was because we only had the high of A right here. So it was down here. So, but the real tell was you had this ledge. And once we got above this ledge and got back into the overnight low, you might anticipate, well, we're back in a range, right? We're back in a range. Now you do have the open here, so you're going against the open. And depends on where you want to play it. You want to wait for a pullback and get long, what I call a 4-trader buy. You know, resistance now becomes support. Or do you want to stop entry or whatever? You also have this pivot right here to watch out for. You have the hive here and this ledge right here. So there were opportunities, but little stopping points along the way that you needed to hurdle. But the idea was to get long on the overnight low on the back end. Unfortunately, I didn't get filled on a back end. I anticipated we were coming back in. I don't know, just feel, you know. I could have easily been way wrong. They could have really slammed me at the overnight low. I got long on a move back up to it. And then I was going to add on. I don't remember if I was out or I was going to add on. I didn't get filled here, and I don't remember what happened, but I got long in here. Let me put it that way. I got long, and again, this was an anticipation of a continuation of the move higher. Well, this took a long time. There were some fits and starts and some pressure. In fact, I really wish when B period came up here, I would have gotten out earlier than what my intended target was, because it came real close to it, and that would have been beautiful. But like I just have that expectation. You have that expectation that it's going to hit your target, and it really was good enough, and I should have just gotten out. But I got it ultimately. I just had to endure some heat. The good news about that is, because I actually was trading more than one lot, I was able to rinse and repeat. So I averaged in. I don't like the word averaged in. I added on, and then I take it off, and I added on. I did that 2-3 times on another lot, and each one was successful. And the last one took all the way home. Now it'd be great if I'd stayed long, but you know what? That was a long hour or so. I was tired. I've been up and did the pre-market, did the videos, all this. Now here's the other plan that's coming into play right now. So one other thing I want to share, and I did take this too. At first I thought we were going to get it. Let me move this out of the way. This is a tick chart. Basically, let's just call it a minute chart. It's like a minute chart, okay? It's not a minute chart, but it's like it. So when we came up to the value area high, I was looking to get short about 87.75. Why not the value area high? Prior high day, overnight value low. This is a good area. There's also low volume here. Well, you know what? That's today's volume. No, that doesn't count. Sorry, kind of misspoke there. You've got, we had a poor high, didn't like that, but we'd already built value lower, because one of the ideas was to anticipate a pause, meaning kind of a rotational, or we aren't going to like trend higher today, or, it's hard to say. The day could do anything, it still could, but anticipating a possible pause, sell the value area high, or look above on a rotational retracement of yesterday to lower volume distribution. So let's just dissect out here selling the value area high. Okay, forget all the other stuff. One of the ideas was to sell the value area high, and we want to mix market internals. Well, we still kind of have them. I'll pull them in right now. This is market internals. Right now it's positive, but it was slightly negative to start. Look, this is mixed. I mean, look where you are. This is the advanced decline line. This is, it's gone from negative to positive. It was negative to positive. If I make this a little bigger, you can see negative to positive, right? So it's mixta, okay? So the idea was that we get up there. Now, I didn't like the way it came into that. It really came in kind of hot at first, but it sold off. I didn't get filled on my first run up to it. Let me move this out of the way. First run up to it in B period. It came right here, right? 87. I was waiting at 87.75, and I was waiting there because I've got, look at this volume ledge right here, right? It may not have even got there. Well, it didn't get there, but it didn't get me in either. However, when C period opened up, now it came up kind of fast, but I liked it. I liked it just for a quick in out, and that's what happened. Right? Let me back up. Back up here. Right here. So I was anticipating a short. I got in at 80. I right in here. I don't remember. I think I dropped a. I don't remember how I did it. I don't think my limit was still sitting there when it came up. And I didn't like it, but I thought, you know what? I'm doing it because this was a fast move up, and the odds were pretty good. We might get a reversion, and we did. So I took it off, maybe down out here. So it wasn't a big trade. It was a nice trade. There was more in it, but I didn't, and I didn't do it on the second touch either. You know, I've already tired. I'm not. I just wanted to relax, and this was a nice little grab, and I was out. But that trade worked. Okay, I'm not doing the thing here where I'm writing the number of points per deal, but this back in. Let's see. This right here, I can't draw on this. Back in after taking the overnight low out and failing to move lower. This was good for. Let's see. Well, it's still good, but let's just say we take a chunk of it, right? So back in, let's say you got in on a stop entry at 52.5, and you took it all the way up to, gosh, let's just say the overnight value area low. That's 18 points, and that's I'm just throwing that out there. Let's say you even just took it up to the pivot point, so 52.5 to 57.5. That's 5 points. It's nice. That's a nice little bite. All right. So here we are now. This is what's happening now. All right. Continuation of yesterday move up. Well, we have moved up. Are we going higher? Well, we do have potential for short covering back here on the second, I believe. There's still like room for that. It's got a volume PC up here that's beckoning. You've got the 50 moving average and 100 moving average kind of intersecting here. The 100's pointing down. The 50 is moving up. Sometimes this will kind of cause. Well, I don't know what it causes. I don't know the cause, the chicken or the which come first, right? I don't know. The point is that this beckons. That's the best way to put it. I think it's the best way I've come up with putting it. This beckons a touch. What happened today? It could. This was a pretty good move up. It looks like we're continuing. We have a lot of day left. But all right, let's look at the profile here though, where we are right now, because there's a story that was probably unusual for what I've talked about before, and that was a fake out. Okay? Now, it may go from being a fake out to something else, but right now, and I'm not trading anymore. I'm done. Okay? I don't want to trade on my laurels because I can get too confident, and then one of my foibles is when I have a really great lots of string of winners and stuff like that, it makes it harder to take a loss sometimes, and I might make a bad judgment as I get tired. So here was the idea. Exploit a fake out on the overnight high. So look to trade short from the overnight high and rejection of higher prices. Well, above the overnight high, we don't have any volume built. It's attenuated. Now this could change in an instant, okay? But right now, so we're looking at shorting against the overnight high. If somebody did that, it's not really working. They're taking heat. Market internals, tempo. Wait a minute, it's up here. Market internals, not heavy to the upside. Quick move back in the overnight high. Thin volume above. Watch for rejection near 4,000 level. Well, we got thin volume above. We still have a bit to go to the 4,000 level. That's right up here. So this may not be over on the fake part. I think if we get rejection from there and a move back below the overnight high, there might be room to exploit a move back to the overnight value area high or further. You know, we might, again, see a rotation, because if I pull those weekly profiles in, let's see here. Let me make this big here. Kind of thin in here, right? We could see some rejection out of here and a rotation back down, and just watch for that. Or if we get even below here, watch for the back and fill for any one of these little divots. See, this was like a back and fill in this area, right? And that's what I'm talking about, either happening down here or somewhat in here, or a merge of the two. Let me merge them together. Okay, so we've got this area right here. But if we can't get above it, we might see a rotation back on down. That puts us at 76 or lower. Could call it right here, right? Anyway, just some ideas, things to be aware of. Well, it got rejected from the 4,000 level. It's thin. This would have been a good short for somebody. Is this going to go to the downside? Well, let's look at the market internals. They're rolling up. It's now 2 to 1. I don't know. The fake out may not play out, or it may play out for a little bit and then come back out, because we've got in 3 minutes we're gonna have a new TPO. I would expect probably a move back down to the overnight high, if not further, maybe down to the intraday value area high, which is right here, before we continue higher. But what do I know? Okay, so anyway, those are some ideas. The other thing, again, for the rest of the day, which may happen, is that we have a continuation, and we're looking to get long above yesterday's high. So if you're long, good job, right? Good job, you're staying long. But we could also see, now one of the things that happens very often is we get a move back down towards the initial balance, which is down here at 87, just under the prior high of day, and we do not close the single prints. So look for a move down to, somewhere in here, maybe the bottom of this volume distribution, for maybe an opportunity to get long and stop somewhere down below here, because it's got some stuff to get through again. But be on the lookout that if something gets down here, there's anytime we get below the overnight high, the overnight value area high, the prior high day value, something's changing, right? Doesn't mean it's changing for good, but something's changing. All right, I don't know why I'm talking to you like I'm teaching you anything. I'm just telling you how I'm thinking about it. And I hope you have a great morning and a great rest of your day. And there you go. That's how it started and how it's going. Thanks a lot. Bye.